What's up guys, Octave Gamer here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are starting season 2 of F1 2020 My Team Career Mode, and we are in for a treat of a season today. New car, new teammates, just everything, almost everything has changed. Our teammate this season is Mick Schumacher. Yes, Mick Schumacher, the son to Michael Schumacher, 7-time Formula 1 world champion. And we've gone for an Aston Martin livery, as always, because it's Aston Martin Racing. It's an Aston Martin livery that's inspired from the 2021 Aston Martin Cognizant F1 team livery. So that's our livery for this season, and without further ado, we're into practice one here. It's just like a mint green type of livery, not exactly the same as the real Aston Martin, but it is a fantastic one. I really like it. So there is the suit, of course my driver, my avatar I should say. Mick Schumacher is our teammate for this season. New sponsors, almost everything has changed actually. We were supposed to sign Antoine Hubert for season 2, but some contract negotiation issues just took place. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into practice 1, and the track acclimatization gets started. Into turn number 1. You guys may see a bit of changing in my driving. My driving is not as horrible as it was in season 1, but in season 2 everything changed. So into turn number 3, we're going towards the 4th corner of the track. Turn 4, a really tough part of the track, and then where Verstappen got denied the win in Bahrain. And then turn 5 and 6, and then into 7, the downhill part of the track, one of the toughest on this whole track. A little look up into turn number 8, or is it turn 9? I think turn 8, yeah, turn 8, and then into turn number 9 and the hardest corner of the whole track, turn 10. As you can see, I said it was hard because I completely misjudged the corner there. Onto the straight after turn number 10, and then we are about to approach this sort of corner, turn 11, sort of fast corner, and then a little kink here for turn 12, and then into turn 13, a little drift a bit there. We have to miss 2 gates, but that's fine. We're still gonna improve. And then we're going towards this straight, which is surprisingly not a DRS zone. It's just a normal straight. Into the final corner of turn 14, and then a little small kink, if we can even call it that, turn 15, the DRS zone, and then to round a lap of the Bahrain International Circuit, and the fastest lap is a 1:31.5, which I think is not too bad, especially that my driving is kind of improved. So I need you guys' thoughts on my driving for season 2, whether it's good or not. I know there are a few mistakes that I've made, but everyone makes mistakes. This driving is turning out to be one of my best types of driving styles here, that even my driving style in Project Cars 2 or Gran Turismo could have a big impact. As much as I'm driving as nicely in this game, I'm also doing the best in Project Cars 2 as long as I get the game. And yeah, we are starting our second flying lap of the track acclimatization program. It's a 3-lap program, so you've got to be on your limit. You do not need to make any mistakes. And yeah, just a little a breather, and the end of practice 1, and we had to finish in 17th place. Our fastest lap being a 1:31.54. I nearly say it 4:55, but it's 5:45, which is kind of confusing there. So Valtteri Bottas the fastest, ahead of Sebastian Vettel and Sergio Perez. Let's go to qualifying. The Bahrain International Circuit is such a good circuit that qualifying can be a bit tricky at this track, and today we are here for qualifying in season 2, the first qualifying of season 2, and it's divided into 3 sessions, Q1, Q2 and Q3, for the first time in my career mode. So we're starting our first flying lap of the qualifying session into turn number 1, A little lock up there, but that's not really going to matter. Into turn number 2, not really much of a corner. Turn 3, also not really much of a corner. And then onto the DRS zone. DRS activated, braking down into turn number 4. A little hard part of the track. And then small kink there. Turn 5, and then turn 6. Turn 7 with the wide curbs there. I've even gone onto it. Turn 8. It's also a tough corner, turn 8. And then just take a little bit of the curbs there, and then turn 9 and the hardest braking zone, one of the hardest corners in sim racing, turn 10 in Bahrain, and then onto the third DRS zone of this whole track. And use as much as ERS as you can, but we can't use ERS in qualifying. It's automatically been able to use, but I hope in F1 2021 that you can use ERS whenever you'd like. That's a feature I really want to see, not the game automatically doing it for you. And then towards the final sector of the lap, and then braking down into turn number 14, a little corner cut there, but that's not really going to matter, Teammate Marduk style. And then turn 15, DRS zone, DRS activated, and a 129.505. Great lap there, not really disappointed with that, and it moves us up into P5. But we're on our last flying lap of qualifying. The checkered flag is out, the delta's not so good. We're in P20, which I don't think is optimal for getting through to the final, to the Q2. Coming across the line now, and our lap time is 1:30.2 if I saw by the split second. But it's not enough to take us to Q1, so we start P20 for the first time in Season 2. I know we haven't really done well. So these other cars have made it through to Q2. We're not making it through. The other cars that have not made it is Mick Schumacher, George Russell, me, and Giovinazzi, and some other cars.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. Who would you say is your biggest rival at the moment?
In terms of rivalry, you have to beat your rival. And I think Kimi Räikkönen is a rival that I can possibly beat.
Your qualifying pace didn't put you at the front of the grid. Will this be a problem tomorrow?
We're still a developing team. We don't need to be at the front of the grid in the first race of Season 2. I'm sure the team can make the car better, and then maybe in the next few races it could be top 10 starts, I believe.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Welcome to the 2020 Formula One World Championship. Here we are at the first race in what should be another thrilling season. I think the action this year will be very, very close. But as always with F1, you can never be too sure. Anyway, let's get started. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Sergio Perez, and Vettel, Sainz, Stroll, Norris, and Pierre Gasly, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Daniel Kvyat, and Albon, Grosjean, Ocon, Kimi Räikkönen, and Nicholas Latifi, Giovinazzi, Roberts, Russell, and Mick Schumacher. And now it's time to head down to the track.
It is time for the Bahrain Grand Prix, the first race of Season 2. My team is getting more and more interesting as close as you are to taking victory. And straight away we are about to head out for the first racing lap of season 2. But first we have to get past the formation lap. So right behind us we've got George Russell and Mick Schumacher. I nearly said Michael Schumacher, sorry, but we have got George Russell and Mick Schumacher behind us. Let's get into the race without any further delay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights for season 2, the Bahrain Grand Prix. Lights on and away we go. New set amount of cameras, of course, for this season, but it's a great start here. We're challenging the rest of the drivers here. We've got the Alfa Romeo behind us here. Let's go for an outside line into turn number 1. A bit of contact between me and Magnussen around the outside of turn number 1. Everyone making it stick, including us. And then we've got Alex Albon on the outside there, the Red Bull in 15th place. That's not where you want it to be. If you're a Red Bull fan like DK Jones, who might be watching this video, shout out to you, by the way. And into turn number 4, we're trying to go around the outside of Albon, but it's not enough. He has the inside line. Into turn number 5 and turn 6. And then into turn 7, we've had a great start so far. Let's think about a move up the inside of Alex Albon here. And we've got the job done. No pushes at all there. We've gained as much speed as we can. Next is Kevin. Sorry. I think, yes, it is Kevin Magnussen, or is it Romain Grosjean? It must be Romain Grosjean here. Miscalculations, Kevin Magnussen as well. On to lap number 3, P13. We've got Pierre Gasly ahead of us here. Let's see if we can go around the outside of him. He's too far back, so we're not going to think about it here. Into turn number 2 and turn number 3. Small little corner there, but we're going to slipstream Pierre Gasly onto turn number 4. Let's see if we can get it stopped. We haven't got it stopped there, and that's well wide. We've lost the positions we were supposed to gain, or the positions we were looking for. First lap, I should say. We are doing kind of great. The new car is settling well. I feel good with it. It's not really been much of a problem. I'm just getting started in these first 3 laps, and the other laps that we've done in practice and qualifying. So into turn number 10 now. Let's see if we can use the DRS to capitalize on the cars ahead, such as Gasly and Raikkonen and many others. The other 11 cars, I believe. So into turn number 11, we're still hunting them down here, and let's see where else we can go through. And onto lap number 5, I think Raikkonen has made some sort of a mistake as he's skipped through. And well, we've done a lot here. We've just got 2 positions into the top 10, so it looks like we're progressing well. Do not want to jinx anything just yet. I know the power of jinxing is common in F1, but I'm not sure if it's common in the F1 game, but I don't think it is. So we've got Kimi Raikkonen and Kvyat and many other cars behind us here. Let's see if we can try and hold them off, but it's not going to be easy. The way the F1 game's AI are so feisty on the game, it's not the easiest task you can think of. Holding off people is not easy, and well, the AI might also struggle when it comes to getting past me because, well, I'm not a dirty driver, but as you can see, my driving has improved somehow. We've got a few cars into the pits. We've got Sebastian Vettel, Gasly into the pits, the cars ahead of us, and we're gonna blist past all of them here. Let's blist past all of them, and we're up into P7. Let's see if we can keep that position. But we are pitting this lap, so there's a chance that we are not keeping that. But we've still got Kimi Raikkonen behind us here. We've got Kevin Magnussen joining the party as well. The only thing I'm looking for before I pit is to see if Raikkonen is pitting. As Martin Brundle has said before, if you pit, your rival might not pit. If your rival doesn't pit, you pit. But if the rival pits, you don't pit. I hope that makes sense to you guys. It does make a lot of sense to me, but other people may take it in a different way. So that's just what I heard from Martin Brundle, and we move on. P7 on lap 7 out of 29 laps here, and 22 laps to go here. We've decided to dummy Raikkonen into the pits, and Raikkonen has gone into the pits. We actually take the lead. Imagine holding on for a first victory in my team career mode, season 2 episode 1. That would be absolutely epic. So into turn number 3 now, we've got Kimi Räikkönen, who's actually still behind us here. So I thought Räikkönen actually pitted. Instead he didn't. I thought he was gonna pit, but it turns out that the leaders were the ones that were pitting. So quite unfortunate for us, but it's not the end of the world. We just have to wait for Räikkönen's move, but our tires are completely dead. I mean, the right left is 61% dead. So let's see if we can manage the tires. But turn number 10 is one hell of a corner, so it's not going to be easy for me to hold off Räikkönen, Magnussen, Kvyat and Alex Albon. Albon, who's in the Red Bull, the fastest car of all of us here. But in the upcoming seasons, we may be the fastest, but it's not guaranteed that we are going to be the fastest. So let's just keep the tires okay, but I think it's a lap where we need to box now, and unfortunately we need to go into lead mix just to save some fuel. We do not want to run out of fuel at the final corner, yet we're in a battle. Into the final corner, we have to see if Räikkönen is taking the strategic gamble here, and he is following us into the pits. Is he? No, he's not. He's staying out. So there's a chance that we might get ahead of him. So into the pits, this long pit line here in Bahrain. We might just be in here for quite a while. So other cars go passing by us. I am sure our teammate is also going to pass us. A 1.9 second pit stop. That is amazing stuff. I wasn't expecting the team to do such a job here. But out of the pits we go. Really punishing myself by talking here. Commentary is hard, especially, but if you're doing a live stream it may be even harder. But into turn number 11, and we've got Mick Schumacher ahead of us. We're in bottom last here. Let's chase him down. Whoa! And it's a Spinala. Great, just a way to get season 2 kicked off. A little Spinala on lap 13 at turn 13. I think that's turn 12. Yeah, it's turn 12. So we've gone down to the last. We've got Russell in the pits. I'm sure we might get ahead of him. It's not guaranteed that we will. But our teammate is into the pits. We're definitely getting ahead of him. But the other cars ahead, no chance at all. Thanks to the Spinala, we would have gained a lot of positions. But unfortunately, Spinalas happen. Kind of not my fault, because in F1 2020, I mean, that curb at turn 12 is so frustrating. I mean, I don't know the physics of Codemasters, especially this game. There's so many fake physics in this game, so many auto spin curbs. I don't know how these auto spin curbs are made, but probably when EA starts to develop the F1 games, things could change. So P20 it is for us. Let's see if we can make up a few more positions. That's well wide into turn number 8. But it's not the end of the road for us. We're still in it here. Locking up into turn number 10. I don't like turn number 10. And I'm sure anyone else on this earth hates turn 10. Yeah, turn 10 is good for dive bombs, but not for actual overtaking cleanly, because if you're trying to do a proper turn 10 overtake, there's a chance that you're obviously going to ram into the back of someone or hit someone's suspension or something. Into turn number 13, and this corner is absolutely horrible. I don't like it either. It's just one of the worst corners you can ever make on the game or in real life. But we've gone well wide into the final corner. Latifi is into the pits. And how far the pit line is for the slower cars, that sounds quite rude, but we move ahead and we're into P19. This may be where we stay for quite a while, unless other cars do decide to pit. Coming on just now, we are moving well as George Russell is thinking about it, a move up the inside, and he's gone up the inside of us. Let's see if we can battle him into turn number 2. We haven't gotten past him into turn 2, neither turn 3. We don't have the DRS. He has the DRS instead. He's going to use that to his advantage. but into turn number 4, really on the back of Russell, but we're just not close enough here. He had the DRS to gain on the cars ahead. Yeah, DRS does make you lose a bit of time, but we're trying to think about a move up the inside of turn 8, but turn 8 is not an overtaking corner at all. So if we can manage to get ahead of Russell, that would be great, because position 20 is not what we need. We left position 20 already. We don't know what to go back there. So we still move on. Russell pulling away by the minute, or by the second, or by the time. Yeah, the time makes more sense. He's pulling away by the time into turn number 12. We're not touching those curbs anymore, and let's see if we can narrowly close the gap. It's not an easy way to close the gap, especially on the F1 2020 game, where the AI just obliterate you, if that even makes sense. Yeah, that word that I said was not real. It's eliminate or abolish. Yes, abolish makes more sense. But Russell's still ahead. The Williams, who is also on a Mercedes engine, is way faster than us. But Russell just trying to eke out the gap here. Will we get the slipstream on him into turn 3? It's not working out a little bit, not even close. An outside move will be the chance here. We've gone well around the outside here. We can just keep it deep. Oh, and we've done it. Oh my goodness me, I was not expecting that. Just on the drive, we've just made the move stick. That is an amazing one. I was not expecting that. But that is a sensational move. We've done a lot. And yeah, pretty good move. Pretty amazing move. That was stupendous. Absolutely stupendous, or OG-pendous, if that even makes sense. Trying to make some own quotes for my own channel name. I don't know whether that's stupid or not, but definitely makes sense to me. So we've gotten past Russell. We're into P19, but we're nowhere near the other cars ahead. Next is Esteban Ocon, but that's far away, 9 seconds. That's a big gap. So on to lap number 18. I thought we were on lap 19 for a second there, so we nearly make contact with Gasly, who's coming out of the pit lane into turn number 2. Let's see if Gasly is going to try and catch up. No, he's not, because we have the DRS and he's just not strong enough for us. We've gone well wide into turn number 4 once again, and that corner really does tend to take the knock out of me. But we're still ahead of Gasly at the moment, and I don't think we're struggling. We're not struggling at all. We're actually doing some good pace here. It's P18 for us, 2 positions gained from where we started in P20. A place I was not really expecting to start, but I won't say too much about where we started on the grid. It's just the F1 2020 game. You just tend to make mistakes from time to time. I don't think you should be responsible for the same mistakes that you do make, because they just happen from time to time, and well, it does tend to be a bit hard at times when you make a mistake, especially in qualifying. Qualifying is not the best session to be making mistakes, neither is the race. Practice, yes, from time to time it is good for making mistakes. That's why it's there. Practice makes perfect most of the time, but just because people say practice makes perfect doesn't mean everything is perfect. Things do go out of hand and they don't end up especially well. So we've got Daniel Ricciardo ahead of us here with Lando Norris, teammates in 2021 this year. As I'm actually commentating on this here, it's just a few days after the Imola Grand Prix. They are teammates, so it's been pretty hard for us to go above 17th place for more than 2 laps or more than 3. But we kept the lead for a lap, but we didn't keep the lead for a whole race, which I think is just stretching us out, telling us the difference between being last and being first, which is quite different, as we've got a knock there. Someone hit us on the back. I think Gasly hit us. Yeah, Gasly did make some contact with us here, so he might have a bit of front wing damage and he might pit knowing the AI, and he's now trying to clash with us again. So yeah, Gasly really on the attack here. I think he's pissed off. He's tired of us being ahead. He needs to get ahead, but he needs to try harder. He needs to be safer. As Valtteri Bottas sets the fastest lap of the race at 1:31. He's really on fire here, but Gasly is fuming. I'm sure he must be fuming there, if these AIs do fume at all. But into the final corner, and we're trying to stretch this gap here. I'm not sure it's going to be the easiest way to stretch a gap, but I'm sure the next lap we have to pit, because the pit strategy I think used to show lap 21, I think. But I think a pit stop would be definitely great, especially that we can go onto the soft tires. And we're into the pits right now. Pit strategy open as we start lap number 21, and we've gone for the decisive strategy call and into the pits where we make another fast stop, team changing the tires as quickly as possible, and a 2-second pit stop, 2 seconds exactly, which I think is a fantastic way to speed up the pace. So we are out of the pit line and on track once again. Gasly 9 seconds here, 7 seconds, 6 seconds. I wonder how he's going that fast. Yet he's only going through turn number 1. So I feel that these soft tires may start to help us with the fastest lap here. We may need to speed up the pace a little bit. It's going to be absolutely crazy here. As most UK people, British people may say, Mandem need to start going fast now. That's a pretty bold attempt of just saying some British language. Not exactly British language, but we don't care. This is my team career mode, not my team British career mode. But anyways, Daniel Kvyat is out of the session here. I think it must be an engine failure. If it was really a crash, we could have the safety car out. Fastest lap of the race. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. That's how we've done it. We set the fastest lap of the race on the soft tires, so I'm not really surprised. The soft tires are so quick that you can literally set any quick lap time on them. So I really love the soft tires, especially on some fast circuits. Bahrain isn't really a fast circuit, but it is a good one, to be honest with you guys. I really love the circuit. But we've got Nicholas Latifi, who's gone ahead of us once again. A dive bomb into turn number 10, and that's really miscalculated. And we've hit into the back of Latifi. A bit of front wing damage, unfortunately. We just can't get a break of the front wing damage, unfortunately. But into turn number 11, we've made the move, stick a little lock up there, and we've gone past Nicholas Latifi here. Let's see if we can hold him off. Gasly is catching up to us quick, and he's not stopping at all. He's absolutely quick there, coming across the line, start the final lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix. We are in last position. Sorry, not last position, 18th place here. We've got Gasly and Latifi behind us. Gasly made the move on Latifi, so unfortunately we could be the big losers of this one. Let's try to maintain P18. We've gone well wide into turn 4, but we are still holding 18th place at the moment here. The soft tires may be wearing out. They are actually wearing out. These soft tires wear out quickly. Lewis Hamilton wins the Bahrain Grand Prix, but that doesn't matter at the moment here. We forced Gasly a bit wide there. Let's see if we can keep the position here. Latifi just behind Gasly here. He could be a threat to us. Gasly may think about the move, but we've gone wide out of turn 10, unfortunately. That's the problem with turn 10. pretty tight corner that we've gone well wide there, and we've lost the position to Gasly. P19 for us. We don't have much time to overtake. The finish line is closer and closer here. We're into the final sector of the lap here, and okay, we are slow, about 5 seconds off, but Gasly has run away from us, unfortunately. But we'll have to try and hold off Latifi here. We'll catch up to Gasly some other time, but it's unfortunately not P18 for us, which doesn't apply to anything. It's the fastest lap, but no extra point for us. And that, ladies and gentlemen, wraps up the Bahrain Grand Prix. That was an awesome race. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did as well. Just mad. I'm really tired of talking. That was an incredible race. I'm sure you guys must have enjoyed it.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. And talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
Well guys, that was one hell of an episode. That was a fantastic race. Even though we just finished P19, didn't really apply for anything, but it means that we're 19th in the World Championship at the moment. But I must say, it was a good race. I didn't really hate it, but it was a good race. I did appreciate it. It was very good. So guys, that wraps up today's video. Yeah, I hope you guys had enjoyed this episode. If not, then I don't know. Yeah, so this season will be one of the best, I hope. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy it, then smash the like button. It really shows that you guys appreciate the work I do. It shows the amount of appreciation to the efforts of this video. But if you want to see more F1 2020 My Team content, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and it's a good old OG goodbye.